Get results, not excuses.
Well, meteorologist Joe Hansel here. There is a slight chance of some light to moderate showers and a few general thunderstorms in the state today. Far less impactful compared to earlier this week. But again, earlier this week, we had that up to extreme rainfall event, severe thunderstorm event that led to up to locally historic river flooding that a lot of areas are going to still be recovering from, and some recovery efforts and search and rescue efforts may still be ongoing in some areas of the state. If that is the case for your day, be mindful. A lot of clouds around, partly sunny to overcast skies, and a chance of a hit or miss rain shower today. Especially favoring in the afternoon hours. The main front, stationary fronts to the south over the Carolinas, areas like Charlotte, watching for another risk of heavy rain, potentially in some areas of North and South Carolina today. Fly-Saver forecast, it starts at home. Will be more favored for some increasing chance of rain and storms as we head into early next week with our next incoming cold front from the northwest. In northern areas, plenty of clouds, a chance of a shower and a slight chance of a thunderstorm with highs around 80, give or take today in the northern panhandle. Lows low to mid-60s tonight with a low chance of a shower. Eastern panhandle spots likely dry here. We'll call it partly sunny, warming up near 80 or so for highs in the panhandle spots, the 70s, higher elevations, lows 50s and 60s tonight. Northern areas, probably still a lot of impacts out there from that extreme weather event we had earlier this week. There is a slight chance of a general shower or storm today, hit or miss in nature for rain, but I'll keep eyes on the radar today and tonight. Southern areas, a few showers, chance of a thunderstorm. 86 Huntington, 72 in Bluefield today. Lows mainly in the 60s tonight. Sunday, a chance of showers and storms, more likely early next week as we heat up a little bit, near 90 Charleston, Monday and Tuesday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango.
The latest on the flood recovery efforts in Central West Virginia, plus the state Republican Party has a ballot problem in Fayette County. Chris Stirewalt stops by and steam release. It's MetroNews Talkline. We're underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set line up link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance.
You got to get that.
We can.
You got to get that culvert open up there.
Affiliates across the state of West Virginia, we appreciate you listening in and letting us be part of your day. Or if you're watching in on the Metro News TV app, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live, we appreciate that as well. Jake Link running the video stream. Sophia Wasick handles the phones and the audio side of things this morning. Steam release coming up 11:33. Your chance to vent before we head into the weekend. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. You can text the show, 304-TALK-304. Coming up, Brad McElhinny will join us. We'll try to get an answer to the question of what to do on the ballot for the GOP in Fayette County, where the Fayette County delegate, Elliot Pritt, is currently in jail and facing federal charges. He tried to seduce or did seduce a minor. We'll get into that question with Brad McElhinny. Jeff Jenkins is in Upshur County this morning. We'll check in with Jeff as the recovery efforts are now in full swing in Buchanan, Weston, and the surrounding areas there. Stirewalt stops by a little bit later on as well, as we'll get into some of the national politics of the day. Say good morning to TJ Meadows in the Encova Insurance Studios South this morning. Good morning, TJ.
Good morning, Dave. And let me encourage our listeners, if you would like to help out, whether that be supplies or a monetary donation, in addition to going to our website, wvmetronews.com, we are set up in the Ellipse here at 1111 Virginia Street East. You don't even have to get out of your car in Charleston. Just drive through. We'll take the supplies. We'll gladly accept your check or cash, whatever we need to do. and then you can drive right back out. So if you're looking to help in some way, not sure where to take your stuff, we're ready to help you out. Come see us.
We've got a link up at the website, WVMetroNews.com, and the banner there, Titan Roofing, American Red Cross, Huntington Bank, WVRC Media, our parent company, all teaming up with the relief efforts. You can make a monetary donation to the American Red Cross for specifically the flood relief at our website, WVMetroNews.com. And our friends at Huntington Bank have offered to match donations up to $25,000 as a part of the relief effort. In fact, we'll talk to Chad Prather a little bit later on in the program about that effort. Again, over at WVMetroNews.com. Link is right there at the top of the homepage where you can donate to the relief efforts across West Virginia this morning. Let's bring in Metro News meteorologist Bryan Hughes. He's been following this story from the start, actually before the storms even arrived. He joins us from the studios in Charleston this morning. Bryan, good morning.
Good morning to you. New tornado reports coming in today and damage reports from the National Weather Service on their surveys.
All right, what do we got as far as the tornadoes go, Bryan?
In Hampshire County, 2 miles south of Lehue, we had a tornado that was that touched down it says dozens of trees, large uprooted trees, and limbs snapped from the 5100 block of Route 23 and 3 near Highview. And it's consistent with the rotation found on the radar. And that tree damage continued all the way into Wild Acres, Virginia. And then also the other report, we're getting all these officially in now. So while we knew of a few spots, we're getting the actual information in. We had another tornado 3 miles southeast of Seneca Rocks, and that was large trees were uprooted, large limbs are snapped at the 400 block of Thunder Road near Seneca Rocks, consistent with the radar. It's information as well. They're also going to be doing storm surveys today. The National Weather Service out of Charleston has notified us that today they are going to, they've got two teams. One going to Washington County, Ohio, Pleasants and Tyler counties, another one to Barber County. And they did survey Stonewall Lake yesterday and concluded that there was straight line wind damage there. So those are that's the update that we have coming from the National Weather Service. But I can tell you this, I've already seen thousands, and I mean thousands upon thousands of dollars already donated to our flood relief drive just here in Charleston. That doesn't count Morgantown, Clarksburg, and all of our other radio stations and the Metro News Network across the state of West Virginia.
Wonderful. West Virginians are indeed the best. You talked about these surveys. What are they looking for when they go out? What is a survey team looking to view to be able to establish what happened?
So what they do is, like for instance, an emergency manager says, "Hey, we've got damage here," and they line it up with the radar and go, "Okay, yeah, we see a wind signature there." They get out there, and what you do is you literally just walk out in the middle of it, and you start to look at how the trees and how the debris is laid out. So when you start to see if it's all laid in one direction, I mean, just laid down, just like you drove over it, that would indicate straight line wind. So when you start to see tree limbs moving in different directions that are broken, or debris that's scattered about in different directions, because you can see it. And you can also see wind patterns in fields, like cornfields, on the grass itself. Once you see the wind patterns, you can determine, okay, this is how wide the tornado was. This was a tornado. First of all, yes, this looks like tornado damage. Then you start to look for all swirl patterns, things of that nature. And then you also go in and you look at the structures, as we talked about yesterday. The structures. How well was a house built? When was it built? And what sort of foundation is it on? I mean, I can remember even back in the tornadoes that were in Austin, Texas, back in the 90s, how they went out there and there was asphalt gone. It was ripped up by the tornado, and the entire housing addition was completely gone. And the only thing that was left was concrete slabs, and even those got moved. So you had, and that was the Gerald, Texas tornado, by the way. And that was one of those. It was an F5 or EF5 at the time, and it was F5 at the time actually. Then later classified to EF5, but it was a high-end tornado because when you're taking asphalt up and you're moving concrete slabs and foundations, that's significant damage. We've not had anything like that across West Virginia, but we do know that, like yesterday, the reports out of Pleasants County, this would be the third tornado, possibly fourth, because there may have been two tornadoes there, and that's what they're surveying today to see where the second one was and how far did it go deep into West Virginia.
MetroNews meteorologist Bryan Hughes joining us. Bryan, yesterday you had an opportunity to talk to an individual who has been through this type of event before where you're dealing with flooding, you're dealing with the immediate emergency, you're dealing with the aftermath. Set that up for us.
Kathy Hess, who is Secretary Warner's right-hand lady, and she's actually with both of the secretaries, but the current one. And she said, I remember when I was a much younger woman, and I had my 10-year-old with me. We got to mom and daddy's house, and she said the floodwaters were coming down, and there was a ravine, there was a culvert up there that was stopped up, and all the water was going to come rushing down if they didn't get it unstopped. And they called her dad, who was not there at the time. He said, you gotta do this. You're gonna have to get in the water, and you're the only thing that's gonna save us.
Wow.
And this was some of that audio.
Jake's got the video. Jake, go ahead and roll that.
You got to get that. We can. You got to get that culvert open up there. We're going to lose everything. Daddy, what you want me to do? He said, put on jeans, put on my work boots, tape them up so your pants don't get water floating up in them. He said, put on a t-shirt. You don't want anything heavy. He said, because it'll pull you under. That water's fast up there, sis. He said, forget his long name. He said, you take a shovel and a rake. He said, you use that shovel. He said, you put it in front of you, you stab it down. He said, because that current will pull the ground out from under the sissy. He said,
always appreciate your help on these
JD,
things.
he was 10. He said, you put him on the steps going up to Mommy's house, and you tell him if the water starts coming up fast to run as fast as he can. But he needs to tell you how high that water is. And he said, because it'll pull you under, sissy. How high is the water? He said, and you may have to go in the water. And I did. I had to go under the water. He said, but you got to get it open. He said, we're going to lose everything we've got. You all going to have to go up the mountain behind you, sissy. He said, your mommy can't make it. And I did. I did what my daddy told me to do. And I took my little boy and we did it. We got that culvert open. But what I didn't know was we were opening it up for the fire department. They were able to get up the holler in. And when JD said, Mommy, that water's coming down, it was the sweetest sound I'd ever heard. So I know what is in the heart of these people. And I know if it hadn't been for God, if we couldn't have got Daddy on the phone, if I hadn't been there with Mom, I don't know, we would have lost everything. And that was our only safe place. People don't understand if they've never seen it. They don't understand what it means for somebody to, for the fire department to pull up and say, what do you all need? So in most places up there, sometimes they don't even have a volunteer fire department anymore because people are old and people don't volunteer like they used to. So, if we can do something, this isn't much. I wish I could do more, but
nope, that's plenty.
Thank you very, very
That
much.
right there still makes a difference.
Tell people all the time. I hear them say, well, if we.
She's right. If you've never been in that situation, it's hard to put yourself in those shoes. And she was able to share a little bit of what I'm sure some of the people on Tuesday night were experiencing.
When you, I've not been in the flood myself. I've not been in a flood because I've never sort of put myself in that situation. I've always literally everywhere I've lived in the country, I've lived on higher ground. Now, mind you, I do live on a stern wheel boat right now, so there's an exception to the rule there. But everybody who's been in these floods who I've talked to over and over all these years, they talk about all of a sudden the water was just there and it keeps coming up and you try and save some things. And then you realize at a certain point in time, you can't save anything but yourself. And that's what you're doing. You're trying to save yourself, your son, your daughter, your grandmother, whatever. And I've talked to people who have literally watched their family member float away. And that gets to you. I mean, sorry.
Well, it's helpless. It has to be the most helpless feeling to know there's nothing you can do at that point.
And
you know it.
Yeah, and that's what I heard. That's what I heard on Tuesday night. I mean, I'm just hearing all of that in the voices on Tuesday night on that scanner traffic. You know, when Swiftwater rescue crews are calling me because they can't get a hold of anybody up there, and how can we get in? And then one crew tells another crew, hey, we talked to Bryan, and this is the way we got to go. And you know, and I'm calling the 511 center, and they're like, then they're calling me to say, hey, this road's closed. We had to close this one, but they can get in this way. I mean, everybody's trying to help everybody, and it's just desperation. But the good, you know, it was nice to hear those stories when they're like, we got her out. We got her out. We're pulling back. You know, those things you heard on the scanner, the good stories. But the desperation just kills you sometimes.
You've been doing more than just weather reporting on this. You've been intimately following what has happened. Obviously, it's affected you. What are you hearing about numbers of unaccounted?
A friend of mine who's working up there said that they're going door to door, and they're trying to account for people who've not been accounted for. And he said yes, there are some of them that are not accounted for because they just can't find them right now. Like they might have they lost their cell phone, something along those lines. He goes, but there are people that we just don't know where they are, and neighbors don't know where they are. And he said that's what they're running into, and there may be. I mean, we may, you know, the two deaths that happened, the couple that were in the car, and you know, I told you last night in a text when I got that. I said the worst story is hearing about a couple dying, but the best part of that story is that they died together. You know, it was the husband and wife, and there were people posting on my Facebook page about it, and it's the worst story and it's the best story. They died together, they loved each other, and they weren't going to leave each other. But it's also the worst thing to hear because their sons, their daughters, they're left to pick up the pieces. But I've been told that in the county, things are much, much worse out in the county.
This is Upshur County.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, Upshur County. That in Buchanan, it's fine. And when I say fine, it's not. But the water's receded, and they're taking care of things there. But out in the county, it's much worse. Roads are gone. Bridges are gone. We've seen some of the pictures and some of the video, but my friend who is working as a sheriff's deputy there said it's bad. It's really, really bad. And there's no water. There's no electricity in a lot of these places. I talked to friends of mine who work at Frontier, and they said, you know, first priority is power, and then we come in. He said, he told me, he said, Bryan, we've lost so much fiber up in here. He said it's going to take us weeks upon weeks to even come close to putting it all back together.
MetroNews meteorologist Bryan Hughes joins us. Speaking of power, it looked like I checked this morning they were down to about 1,200 customers across the Mon Power region. So the line crews have done an absolute just yeoman's job of getting electricity restored. And that's going to help, Bryan, because as you mentioned, trying to find the people or just account for people, communication is still a bit of a challenge in Upshur and Lewis counties today.
They really are. You know, and when you look at power outages, by the way, Dodgers County 398 customers without power, and I think it's Pleasants County 524. But you know, Lewis and Upshur just a few hundred. Between Lewis and Upshur, just about almost 300 customers without power. But still, you know, those customers, you know, what's the number? It's times 2.45 or something.
Oh yeah, those numbers that you hear when you say 500 here and 600 here, that's meters. That's right. Not the number of people who are in the home. Yeah,
right. Absolutely. So you're looking, you could be looking at you know, almost 1,000 people that don't have power across Lewis and Upshur County. But the problem is they're the ones that are on the farthest end. They're the ones who are and when you say customers without power, they may not turn power on in a number of spots because they've got the lines fixed. But guess what? There's stuff that's not safe to turn back on.
A lot of these are called tap lines, meaning they're radially fed, meaning it's one way, right? You can't loop the power.
Right.
They end at the end of the line, so you have to fix everything before you can re-energize them. And you know, you get down into those last cases, and it does take a lot more time than what it otherwise would. So I'll try to check with Will Boyer, Dave, and see if they have an estimate for full restoration, see where we are on that, and go from there.
But, you know, you look at, there's just 2,083 customers without power, and they track 1 million, just over 1 million customers across West Virginia. And so there's still 2,000, and, you know, you look at 4,000 to almost 5,000 people that don't have power still, and there are a number of them not going to have it for a number of days. But my friends have told me that my friends who are working in Upshur County say out in the county, it is very bad.
MetroNews meteorologist Bryan Hughes been following this story since, Tuesday when the storms arrived. Bryan, we appreciate it. Thanks so much, buddy, as always.
Thank you.
Take a break. Back in a moment. Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football Showcase partnered with Coalfields & Company.
The premier program across all classes in the state.
Analysis from Travis Jones and Joe Brigato. See the players and programs shaping the 2026 season. Watch high school football athletes compete in the 40-yard dash, 5-10-5 shuttle, and broad jump. Streaming live July 25th on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Couple of notes from Central West Virginia this morning. Again, you probably already heard Governor Morrissey confirming 2 deaths as a result of the flood. The victims found in a car near Stone Cold Lake Road yesterday. Officially, the names have not been released. I know there's information floating around on social media today, but officially names have not been released. West Virginia National Resource Police credited with 85 rescues during the first hours of the flood. Chris Lawrence has that story over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Also, National Guard is beginning the transition to the cleanup mission and removing debris in Weston, Buchanan, Upshur, Lewis counties this morning. We have the latest posted over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Going to talk to Jeff Jenkins a little bit later on. He made the trip up from Charleston to Upshur County today. We will get an update from Jeff here in about 15 or 20 minutes from now. Coming up, other side of the news break, we're going to check in with Brad McElhinny. Earlier this week, Fayette County Delegate Elliot Pritt was arrested on allegations that he seduced a minor using an online game. His teaching license has been suspended. He's also a teacher in Fayette County. That license has been suspended. But what do Republicans do with his spot on the ballot in November? The political implications of those charges. We'll get into that with Brad McElhinny coming up other side of the break. Chris Stirewalt will join us at 11:06 this morning. 800-765-8255, 800-765-TALK, and 304-TALK-304. That's the phone number. And the text line, steam release, don't forget, 1 hour from now. This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, meteorologist Joe Hansel here. There is a slight chance of some light to moderate showers and a few general thunderstorms in the state today. Far less impactful compared to earlier this week. But again, earlier this week, we had that up to extreme rainfall event, severe thunderstorm event that led to up to locally historic river flooding that a lot of areas are going to still be recovering from, and some recovery efforts and search and rescue efforts may still be ongoing in some areas of the state. If that is the case for your day, be mindful. A lot of clouds around, partly sunny to overcast skies, and a chance of a hit or miss rain shower today, especially favoring in the afternoon hours. The main front, stationary fronts to the south over the Carolinas, areas like Charlotte, watching for another risk of heavy rain, potentially in some areas of North and South Carolina today. Fly-Super forecast that starts at home. Will be more favored for some increasing chance of rain and storms as we head into early next week with our next incoming cold front from the northwest. In northern areas, plenty of clouds, a chance of a shower and a slight chance of a thunderstorm with highs around 80, give or take today in the northern panhandle. Lows low to mid 60s tonight with a low chance of a shower. Eastern panhandle spots likely dry here. We'll call it partly sunny, warming up near 80 or so for highs in the panhandle spots, the 70s, higher elevations, lows 50s and 60s tonight. Northern areas, probably still a lot of impacts out there from that extreme weather event we had earlier this week. There is a slight chance of a general shower or storm today, hit or miss in nature for rain, but I'll keep eyes on the radar today and tonight. Southern areas, a few showers, chance of a thunderstorm. 86 Huntington, 72 in Bluefield today. Lows mainly in the 60s tonight. Sunday, a chance of showers and storms, more likely early next week as we heat up a little bit, near 90 Charleston, Monday and Tuesday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football Showcase partnered with Coalfields & Company.
The premier program across all classes in the state.
Analysis from Travis Jones and Joe Brigado. See the players and programs shaping the 2026 season. Watch high school football athletes compete in the 40-yard dash, 5-10-5 shuttle, and broad jump. Streaming live July 25th on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook.
Chris Stirewalt will join us coming up 11:06 this morning. Steam release an hour from now. And I'm just going to throw this out there. Positive steams are welcome. Just throwing it out there, given everything that's been going on this week. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. Jeff Jenkins, next segment from Upshur County. All right, this week, Fayette County Delegate Elliot Pritt was arrested on allegations that he seduced a 15-year-old girl over the online game Roblox. There have been multiple calls, including the state GOP party chairman Josh Holstein, House Speaker Roger Hanshaw, for Pritt to step down from his seat in the House of Delegates. However, he won the primary for the Republican nomination for House of Delegates in that district. He is supposed to be on the ballot in November, and the GOP may not be able to replace him even if he withdraws from the election. To help sort all of this out, Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny joins us this morning. Brad, good morning.
Oh, hello and good morning. And I will do my best to sort out this Jenga puzzle.
All right, how about we start with the background of why this is even an issue. So there was a law, this law was changed just a couple of years ago, kind of flew under the radar a little bit.
2024 House Bill 4350 was passed, went into effect January 1st, 2025. I will say, the legislature is a three-ring circus, even when sometimes it seems slow, and I didn't really pay attention to this. Came across a couple of good stories in Mountain State Spotlight, and Randy Yohe, then of West Virginia Public Broadcasting, did a pretty good follow-up. It looks like what was intended is, I think the intent was to let the voters know who they're getting on their ballots. And sometimes when ballot positions had not been filled, the parties would come in after the filing deadline and backfill them, just in general circumstances. Nothing really dramatic like this. But the idea was that the parties were going to limit the state was going to limit when people could be appointed to ballot positions. And now this effect in this particular situation is, it's one thing if Elliot Pritt resigns from the legislature, or eventually lawmakers are in session to take a vote to remove him from his current legislative position. But that would not necessarily have any bearing about his place on the ballot this fall. So then you get into the Jenga puzzle I described. Under the conditions of the relatively new law, under most circumstances, a political party cannot fill a vacancy on the ballot if a candidate withdraws. Then you begin to kind of thread the needle. There are some other circumstances, a lot of them dealing with the calendar. A political party, get your whiteboard ready. A political party can fill a vacancy on the ballot if a candidate is disqualified. So, for example, let's say you've pleaded guilty and been adjudicated in a crime, or a jury has come back and found you guilty. And then potentially the Elections Commission says, all right, under those circumstances, you are now, criminally adjudicated and you're disqualified. If that set of circumstances were to occur, the disqualification still would have to happen no later than 84 days prior to an election. If you were looking at your calendar, and you can do the quick math, that is August 11th. Counting back from the general election on November 3rd, only a court and a state election commission can disqualify a candidate. So there are a lot of hoops on whether it's even possible for the circumstances that Elliot Pritt finds himself in, or really the voters who would be affected by his situation. Only a thin set of circumstances would allow a different Republican candidate to appear on those Fayette County ballots.
There's a lot to unpack there. If someone wants to read this, it's West Virginia Code 35-19 sub A, and you can go through everything if you want to be able to read that. Let's put that aside for the second and think a little more generally, Brad. If I'm a Republican strategist, I think my advice to anyone involved in this is leave it alone. Just leave it alone. No one cares. It's not important compared to what has happened to this child and this family. disqualify him, whatever. But, if Dems get the seat and it's uncontested, so be it.
The key line in the law is if a vacancy and nomination will be caused by the failure of a candidate to file for an office or by withdrawal of the candidate, the vacancy may not be filed. That part of it is really clear. One thing that the Republican Party could do if it wanted to press it would be to take the set of circumstances to court and, probe it and try to figure out, all right, well, does this stand up? Is there a way? It would be an odd set of circumstances, though, because the main backer of this legislation when it passed in 2024 was Delegate Josh Holstein, a Republican from Boone County. Josh Holstein is currently the Republican Party chairman, so he would be, in essence, leading a fight against his own policy. That will be strange optics. Politically, and in terms of legislative numbers, you are right. I mean, Democrats are at a low ebb of super minority. It could be that circumstances are a little better for them this year. They may pick up some seats, but I don't think they're going to pick up that many seats. And so from a political point of view, if you are the Republicans and you're going to retain your super majority, what's one seat difference?
Yeah, broadly, you're both correct. If you live in that district, though, now you're left with you're left with no choice. One way or the other, whether Pritt's on the ballot or not on the ballot, you're left with no choice in that particular district. So probably impacts you a little bit differently there in those small single-member House districts. Broadly, you're both right, obviously. Not going to change the numbers. You can read Brad's story over at the website, of course, wvmetronews.com. Brad, always appreciate it. Have yourself a fine weekend.
Thank you. There is a Democrat in the race, Matthew Anderson, a special education teacher at Divide Elementary School in Fayette County, and always the possibility of a write-in.
Ooh, write-in candidates. Brad leaves you on a cliffhanger as he heads into the weekend. Brad, thank you, as always.
Hey, thanks.
Coming up, we'll check in. Jeff Jenkins is in Upshur County. We'll get an update from Jeff on the flooding recovery efforts there in central West Virginia. Steam release coming up 11:33. Also, don't forget, if you would like to contribute to the American Red Cross, the flood recovery efforts, we have a link over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Right there at the top of the homepage, click the link. It'll take you to a page. You can make a monetary donation, and our friends at Huntington Bank going to match all the donations up to $25,000. Chad Prather will join us in the second hour of the show. This is Talkline on Metro News from the Encova Insurance Studios.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then before I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Stirewalt going to join us coming up 11:06 this morning. We'll get into the whole hog politics with Chris as he dives into Emerson College polling. Polls coming out this week on 2028 races. Rubio closing the gap with J.D. Vance on the GOP side. And I don't know if I'm warning you when I say President AOC, but I'm just saying. Chris Stirewalt will join us coming up top of the hour. Steam release at 11:33. Let's go to Upshur County. Jeff Jenkins is in Buchanan this morning. He joins us on MetroNews Talkline. Jeff, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Doing well. Where are you? Set the scene for us.
Yeah, so I'm just off a couple of streets here from downtown Buchanan, and came in this morning. Going to talk to flood victims as the cleanup continues, and we'll get over to Weston too later today, where a lot of cleanups taking place. The first thing that really hits you when you come in here and you get off of 79 at Route 33, basically where Corridor 8 starts, right, is the dust, just all kinds of dust. And, you know, the Walmart there at Weston, you know, which is just off of the I-79 exit, and we've all seen the video of the water that came in there on Tuesday night. It got a big construction fence around it, and contractors are in there cleaning it out and working, I'm sure, to try to get it open, you know, soon as possible. But you know, it's all cordoned off right now, and you can just see just a bunch of work taking place there. There are some, you know, convenience stores open, those type of things. Saw a couple of fast food restaurants. There's a McDonald's open here and just off the downtown on Route 20 in Buchanan. Not the inside, but at least the drive-throughs open. So these places are very busy because, you know, a lot of places are closed. But so I mentioned the dust. So you get on 33, and we've reported, and probably you've seen the video of the water that was on 33. And so you'll go between 79 and once you get to Buchanan, about a dozen miles or so, there are stretches where 33 is just one lane where they're working. The DOH is there, you're kind of working on some things, but you can see, and that was Stone Cold Creek that came out of its banks. And Stone Cold Creek, guys, is just a little creek. I mean, it, and to see the damage that it did, there are long stretches along 33 where the total berm is gone. It's just gone. If you would happen to get too close to the edge of the road, I mean, you're going to take a steep drop about 5 or 6 feet right off the road. So a lot of that's going to have to be, you know, repaired at some point, but the berm is totally gone, totally wiped out, washed out. And also, even before I got off 79, as you approach, like after the Stonewall Jackson Lake exit 91, you can start to see just on the side of the interstate where it came off of the mountain there on the northbound side. And there are some crews there. There are some lanes closed there as they get that mud and try to get the ditches back open. So you can really see the effect of what's happened here.
I mean, Jeff, that sounds like a multi-month, if not years-long project on sections of Corridor 8. You talk about berms missing and things. That's going to be a while.
Yeah, and to their credit, I mean, they got it open. So it's totally passable. And then the good thing about that is once you get to Buchanan, it starts going up in elevation as you head toward Elkins. So there's not going to be any problems there. But yeah, there are some stretches there they're going to need some more work. But they've at least got For most of it, it's 2 lanes, but there are stretches where there's just 1 lane open in either direction. I tried to get down to Stone Cold Lake because that's where the man and woman, and that hasn't been officially confirmed by the governor's office, but it's pretty good authority that it was a husband and wife who died there. And we understand. I talked to some locals here. I talked to a man just a couple of minutes ago here in Buchanan. He was here getting him a cup of coffee at the McDonald's, and he was down in there last night and said that this couple had owned a camper from Harrison County and had owned a camper along the lake there. There's some cabins and some camps along the lake, and they're the ones that were trying to get out and were not able to, and their bodies were recovered yesterday. The gentleman also, and I'm going to try to get back down in there again. The road's blocked in one area, but he told me there's a little restaurant down there. I think it's called Jerry's Place. But there was at least one worker who was in a tree for about 5 hours, who was working, and the water came up so fast the highest place he could be was in a tree. So he got in a tree, and he was in there for about 5 hours on Tuesday night.
Wow. Jeff Jenkins is joining us. He's in Buchanan this morning. National Guard presence, obviously. Jeff, what kind of cleanup efforts underway? What are you seeing?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you can see, I've seen the Guard, but what you also see, guys, is just a lot of trailers and a lot of heavy equipment on the back of the trailers, right? So they're going to specific places to help clear ditches and help, clean some things out. I drove through downtown Buchanan, and Alex Wiederstill reported this yesterday. Downtown looks pretty good, quite honestly, but it does sit up a little higher. But as you kind of go down, and really the Route 20 area, so people are familiar, if you come out of Buchanan and you go to to French Creek, where the wildlife center is, the game farm, the old game, what they used to call the game farm, that's where a lot of the damage is kind of off of 20 in various little creeks and runs and different things. That's where some of the damage is going to be. And then also over in Weston, where there was a lot of mud in Weston, got up into a lot of houses. So there's a lot of cleanup taking place over there too.
Jeff, DOH has a facility there off Corridor H right before you get into Buchanan. Did water make it over that way? Any equipment affected? Yeah. What went on there?
150 pieces of equipment destroyed. 100. That's their main equipment division. So 150 pieces of equipment were destroyed, and also, and I understand, 30 of those were brand new vehicles that had yet to go out to the different districts of the DOH. So so they had significant damage, and that, if you're familiar with that, that's right there, right across from Main Street exit in Buchanan, and it sits right there, and it's kind of low sitting. I mean, it's kind of low sitting. Yeah. It's kind of below 33, just a little bit, and all of that. Anything that was low, and I think Mayor Skinner said this earlier this week. Anything that was low got water, and the DOH equipment division, huge facility there, it took on water.
You've covered stuff like this before, Jeff. Unfortunately, is it what you expected? Are you surprised by what you're seeing?
Well, I think, and others have said this, each one of these things is different, right? And so I think you're going to have pockets where it's worse, and there's going to be a lot of places. I'm anxious to see, or be interesting to see. The governor said yesterday there were 1,000 homes impacted. Okay, so that's a lot, but how many are actually going to be destroyed? I mean, if you got your stuff wiped out and it's not destroyed, that doesn't make any difference. I mean, you can still have your house, but you hate it that you got flooded. I mean, that's right. I mean, I'm not trying to make that sound any less serious, but it's going to be interesting to see, and I think we're still trying to find. I mean, they're still trying to find that out. Obviously, the assessment's going on, how many homes were destroyed, and I think as I hopefully am able to make my way up some of these little runs today, that I'll be able to tell a little more about the destruction and homes that really got hard hit.
MetroNews' Jeff Jenkins, he is in Upshur County today. Jeff, we appreciate the update. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys.
Coming up, we've got to take a break. Back in a moment. We'll tell you what's coming up in hour number 2. This is Talkline on Metro News from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
It's good to have options for your family or employees. Rooted in your community since 1979, the health plan is your trusted partner. Get flexible coverage, exceptional support, and competitive rates.
The health plan, we are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Powerball jackpot, $600 million. Mega Millions jackpot, $743 million. So go ahead, play today. Coming up, second hour, MetroNews Talkline. Chris Stirewalt will stop by. We'll get into the whole hog politics and some of the polling looking ahead toward 2028. Also, Emerson College asked about, wait for it, data centers. The results will not shock you. Stirewalt going to join us at 11:06. Also, friend of the program, Chad Prather, Huntington Bank, going to join us as well. If you go to wvmetronews.com right now, the banner at the top of the homepage will take you to an opportunity to make a monetary donation to the flood relief efforts across the state. It'll take you to the Red Cross page. Huntington Bank has offered to match any donations at the link up to $25,000. We'll talk to Chad about that. Also, he's actually, I believe, down in Atlanta this week. Remember Ron Clark and the Ignite presentation? Some educators from West Virginia are down there. We're going to follow up on that next week, but Chad will join us coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. And steam release. Don't forget about steam release. And I'm just throwing it out there. Positive steams are always welcome. I know it's kind of been, we've been focused on the flood coverage, but we will commence with steam release per the bylaws of Metro News Talkline. The bylaws are undeniable, TJ. You cannot violate them.
Positive steams are welcome all the time, though. I mean, let me just reiterate that. It's not like, it's all the time if people feel so inclined.
Well, this week especially, maybe some positive steams coming out in the second half of the show. Don't forget, again, you can donate to the flood recovery efforts, top of the homepage over there at wvmetronews.com. That'll take you to the link. You can make the donations and actually specify through that link where you want your donations to go toward. All right, we'll take a 6-minute break. Go get you one more cafe latte for the second hour of the program. This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, meteorologist Joe Hansel here. There is a slight chance of some light to moderate showers and a few general thunderstorms in the state today. Far less impactful compared to earlier this week. But again, earlier this week, we had that up to extreme rainfall event, severe thunderstorm event that led to up to locally historic river flooding that a lot of areas are going to still be recovering from, and some recovery efforts and search and rescue efforts may still be ongoing in some areas of the state. If that is the case for your day, be mindful. A lot of clouds around, partly sunny to overcast skies, and a chance of a hit or miss rain shower today, especially favoring in the afternoon hours. The main front, stationary fronts to the south over the Carolinas, areas like Charlotte watching for another risk of heavy rain, potentially in some areas of North and South Carolina today. Fly-Super forecast that starts at home. Will be more favored for some increasing chance of rain and storms as we head into early next week with our next incoming cold front from the northwest. In northern areas, plenty of clouds, a chance of a shower and a slight chance of a thunderstorm with highs around 80, give or take today in the northern panhandle. Lows low to mid 60s tonight with a low chance of a shower. Eastern panhandle spots likely dry here. We'll call it partly sunny, warming up near 80 or so for highs in the panhandle spots, the 70s, higher elevations, lows 50s and 60s tonight. Northern areas, probably still a lot of impacts out there from that extreme weather event we had earlier this week. There is a slight chance of a general shower or storm today, hit or miss in nature for rain, but I'll keep eyes on the radar today and tonight. Southern areas, a few showers, chance of a thunderstorm. 86 Huntington, 72 in Bluefield today. Lows mainly in the 60s tonight. Sunday, a chance of showers and storms, more likely early next week as we heat up a little bit, near 90 Charleston, Monday and Tuesday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Second hour of MetroNews Talkline here on a Friday. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the text line. You can, no, that's the phone number. The text line is 304-TALK-304. Steam release coming up bottom of the hour. We'll also talk to Chad Prather, Huntington Bank. If you go to WVMetroNews.com right now, up at the top of the homepage, there is a link. You can make monetary donations to the flood relief across the state today. And Huntington Bank has offered to donate or match up to $25,000 in donations for those recovery efforts. That's top of the homepage over at the website, WVMetroNews.com. Gang's all here. Jake on the video stream. Sophia handling the audio side of things. TJ in the Encova Insurance Studios in Charleston. Good morning, TJ.
Good morning, sir. Breaking, Dave, probably around 10:30. Speaker of the House, Roger Hanshaw, hand-delivering this letter to Governor Morrissey. It says, Dear Governor Morrissey, pursuant to Article 6, Section 19 of the Constitution of the State of West Virginia, the undersigned members constituting the required 3/5 of the membership of the West Virginia House of Delegates request that you call the House into an extraordinary session on Monday, August the 10th, 2026, for the limited purpose of considering and acting upon a resolution to expel Delegate D. Elliott Pritt from membership in the West Virginia House of Delegates, signed Roger Hanshaw.
All right, so they're not going to wait around on him to resign. They're going to kick him out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is new this hour. More information, of course, over at the website, WVMetroNews.com. Latest on the flood recovery efforts there as well. All that said, please welcome into the program award-winning, I think he's award-winning, best-selling author. He's the politics editor for The Hill and News Nation, host of The Hill Sunday on News Nation, senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, Chris Stirewalt. Chris, good morning.
Ugh, gross. That's a story I hadn't followed. Wow. Okay. Well, I never know what. That's what I get for looking away from West Virginia politics for even a couple of days.
It's been a busy week over here, Chris. We've had a lot going on in the last 3-4 days around the state. A lot of news.
Louise. Yeah, well, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have you.
All right. Whole hog politics. I was reading through it, as I do every Friday morning. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, President AOC, it's not the craziest thing to think about, Chris.
No, the Democrats face a challenge not dissimilar to the one that the Republicans faced in 2016. There will be many, many, many claimants for the mainstream Democratic Party, right? You're going to have Gavin Newsom and Josh Shapiro and John Ossoff probably. You're going to have Mark Kelly from Arizona. You're going to have a whole host of characters over there. Other than Ro Khanna, who is, whatever, the progressive Democratic Socialist far left, it's AOC. And the possibility that she could do to the Democratic Party what Donald Trump did to the Republican Party, which is take a durable plurality and swing it like a wrecking ball and go through a field that is divided over narrow differences. I was talking about how horrid Jeb Bush and his campaign manager, Mike Murphy, the way that they destroyed what was left of the Republican Party. They raised $1 bajillion and then they spent it trying to kill Marco Rubio. This is your throwback moment from a decade ago. And then they spent $70 million or whatever to try to take out Marco Rubio while Donald Trump was barreling along. And you could see a similar kind of thing playing out, that Gavin Newsom is fighting with Mark Kelly, who is fighting with whoever, and they all say, well, people don't take AOC seriously. They don't take her seriously. And she could definitely get the nomination. And then she could beat JD Vance. And I'm not saying that's the most likely scenario, but it's certainly a scenario that both Republicans and Democrats should treat as realistic.
Can she raise money?
Yeah, like a house of fire. She does great on small dollar donations. She has universal name ID thanks to Republicans. Because for a long time, you remember the part where Republicans wanted to talk about AOC because they wanted to show pictures of her, an attractive person. They wanted to show pictures of her and then attack her. AOC was for Republicans what Ted Cruz used to be for Democrats. The bloody shirt to wave in front of the face of your people, to be like, look at what these people are doing. And so the Republicans were totally obsessed with AOC, and it worked great for her. It made her a victim in the eyes of many Democrats. It got her name ID up, and it helped her fundraising massively. So yes, there's no Bernie Sanders candidacy this time. There's no Elizabeth Warren candidacy this time. There may be another far left claimant, but right now she's the one, and she's going to be going up against, if Democrats a year from now are arguing about whether they like Pete Buttigieg or Mark Kelly, that's good for AOC, because that means that with a quarter of the vote, she would be able to trundle through.
Chris Stirewalt joining us, politics editor for The Hill and News Nation. Over on the other side, in the Emerson College polling, a few months ago, J.D. Vance had a stranglehold on the 2028 Republican nomination. Now, not so much. Marco Rubio, who keeps saying, I'm not going to run, but he has closed the gap in just a few months.
Well, yeah. Marco Rubio's the Hillary Clinton of this story. He's the Secretary of State for a president who remains very popular with his own party, not as popular as he once was, but still popular. And Marco Rubio has the advantage that his candidacy is theoretical. He has a hypothetical candidacy. Rubio himself says, I'm not running. I'm backing J.D. Vance. This is not me. This is him. And much like Hillary Clinton when she was working for Barack Obama, when Democrats were asked what they thought about Hillary Clinton, they liked her right up until, well, here's a good parallel. Do you remember that Republicans were convinced that Michelle Obama was going to be the Democratic nominee? They told me, Republicans told me again and again, they're going to switch out Biden and they're going to put in Michelle Obama. Look at how high her ratings are with Democrats. They're going to put Michelle Obama in. But what that forgets is it's those kinds of high ratings are easy to get when you're not asking for anything. And Michelle Obama wasn't asking Democrats for anything. They liked her, and it was a low-cost choice. So right now, Marco Rubio is two things. He is a theoretical alternative to J.D. Vance, who is stepping on rakes all over the place. And he is a blank canvas onto which you can draw whatever you want him to be. It would be a very tricky dismount for Rubio. Now, if Marco Rubio, after midterm, says, I did my 2 years, I had a great time being Secretary of State and Viceroy of Cuba or whatever is on his job list by the time he gets there, and now I'm going to go spend time with my family and focus on other things. What does everybody say as soon as he does that?
He's running.
He's running. So then he loses the theoreticalness and he gets into an actual rhubarb with J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance and his people are mean, well-funded, and they throw heat. And J.D. Vance would be out for the Vance world would be out for Rubio. And Vance has the whole apparatus of the party. He is the national fundraising chairman. He's got the party out. It would be extremely difficult to unseat a sitting vice president. As Pat Buchanan found out, as challengers in the past have found out, as Bill Bradley versus Al Gore, it's just tough. You're sitting vice president, you've got the party apparatus. Now, Trump could totally screw over Vance. That would be a very Trump move, would be to kick him down a flight of stairs a year from now. But if you're Rubio, figuring out how to run would be very challenging. What I would do if I was Marco Rubio and I really wanted to be president, I would not leave. I would wait, and then I would pick a huge fight with J.D. Vance a year from now and leave over some issue, right? I would say, like, you know what? I can't. This administration ain't big enough for the both of us. And I'd pick my fight and I'd walk out and I would dive into a presidential campaign.
Let me play the role of contrarian because otherwise I serve no purpose. Guy like me, mid-40s, business guy, big business guy. People say that, we used to be country club conservatives. Now maybe we're even more better represented inside some of the Democratic leaning constituencies in Washington. When I look at these two, I don't see an executive. I don't see a leader. I don't see a visionary in J.D. Vance. I see that more in Marco Rubio. So people like me, I think, would be more inclined.
You like him more. That's because you like him more.
Okay. But he actually achieves things. He feels like, I feel like I could go sit down in his office and I could see an action register of what he's working on, what's happening, movement, executive discipline. I don't see that out of Vance.
Well, what the Republicans should do is nominate a governor. But they should get somebody outside of Washington. They should pick a governor with a good track record and say, we're going to clean up Washington. But they're not going to do that. They're going to have J.D. Vance, almost certainly, right? Almost certainly they will have J.D. Vance. It will matter how he gets there. Right now, J.D. Vance's big concern, pretty obviously, is not letting anybody get to his right. He doesn't want Tucker Carlson. Like, the reason J.D. Vance won't disavow Tucker Carlson over anti-Semitism and other stuff, the reason he's doing this Catholic integralist, nationalist, I'm sure he believes these things, or I think he does, but also because he knows that the threat that he would face would be to his right. That the reason he's going on Joe Rogan and not going to Capitol Hill is he's taking care of the alt-right, far-right, new right, Catholic integralist, Elizabeth Warren friendly right. He's taking care of those people. They're a small number, but they would pose the greatest threat because if he has to fight for those votes. So if we think about Marco Rubio, we also have to ask, if Vance looks weak enough, who else will run, right? If Vance looks weak enough, and Iran has just absolutely pantsed J.D. Vance. He is dropped almost half of his support since the war began. And some of those are people who hate the start of the war, and some of those people hate the way that Vance has conducted himself around it, but he has bled support. And for Rubio, he has to be very cognizant of the fact that if Nikki Haley, whatever, so he could find himself right back in the same position where right now he's the only alternative. But it could be like, well, I like Marco, but I'd really rather be Brian Kemp. Well, I like Marco, but I'd really rather it be Nikki Haley. But we should do this, we should do that. And that's what Vance is counting on, is that he will have Tucker Carlson's not going to declare. And the rest of the party, the traditional conservative Republican Party, will be divided between choices, and he won't have to face a credible threat.
It's July 2026. We got 2 years of this.
No, you do not. No, you do not, because this will go fast, right? 30 seconds after midterms, right? It goes real fast, and campaigns get launched and destroyed. Think about Kamala Harris in 2022, right? It's going to be great. Or in 2018. It's going to be great. She's going to launch. She's got all the support behind her. She does. People are like, yes, Kamala Harris is going to be the Democratic nominee. And then she got in front of a microphone and people went, oh, she can't do this. And she can't put 4 sentences together in a row. And she's no. And so this thing will get cooking here late November, and it will burn hot.
Chris Stirewalt, always burning hot. A politics editor for the Hill News Nation, the Hill Sunday on News Nation, senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. Always appreciate it, Chris. Thank you, buddy.
Bye, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We'll talk to Chad Prather, Huntington Bank, next.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football Showcase partnered with Coalfields & Company.
The premier program across all classes in the state.
Analysis from Travis Jones and Joe Brigado. See the players and program shaping the 2026 season. Watch high school football athletes compete in the 40-yard dash, 5-10-5 shuttle, and broad jump. Streaming live July 25th on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then before I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Steam release coming up a couple of minutes from now. Your chance to vent as we head into the weekend. 800-765-TALK, 304-TALK-304. That is the text line. Got a link up at WVMetroNews.com. Top of the homepage, you can click to make a monetary donation to flood recovery efforts, actually disaster recovery efforts across the state as those storms marched across West Virginia, spawning tornadoes. Of course, the flooding in central West Virginia as well. It's through the American Red Cross. You can make your donation. Donations up to $25,000 going to be matched by Huntington Bank. Friend of the program, Huntington Bank, Chad Prather, joins us on MetroNews Talkline. Chad, good morning. Good to talk to you.
Dave, likewise. Good morning.
Thanks
Good
for
to be
coming
with
on.
you guys.
Absolutely. Chad, why did you want to get involved with Huntington Bank getting involved in this relief effort again?
Well, yeah, we wish we were on for better reasons here this morning, but, obviously our hearts are with the folks and the families affected down there. It's just what West Virginians do, Dave. Unfortunately, these tragedies are not new, and it's not something that we haven't seen before, unfortunately. And we have an office right there in Weston. People, colleagues that are affected, great friends, customers, and just citizens of the state. It's the right thing to do. We're always going to be there to lend a helping hand for our neighbors when they need us.
Have you talked to any of your employees or customers? Stories? What are you hearing from folks that live there and are affected?
Yeah, TJ, I'll tell you, it's really, really sad situation. I've been in touch with our branch manager down there multiple times a day. She's really helping lead the effort down there. She's a citizen in Weston, and she was up at 4 a.m. the morning that it happened and finished up at 10 p.m. that night, and it's kind of been on that same schedule every day, just lending a helping hand. We sent her out to buy some supplies, from the bank to help deliver to folks. Really, really sad story she told me this morning was that some of the folks who had, kind of lost vehicles and lost the ability to kind of transport themselves, live in more remote areas, they went out this morning with some supplies that they needed, detergent and water and just very basic things. And they were unfortunately the very first people that those folks had seen. So these are elderly folks that, head to toe covered in mud, and just a really sad situation. And want to try to help get those folks back on their feet as soon as we possibly can.
If you go to the website, WVMetroNews.com, we have a link at the top of the homepage. Through the American Red Cross, you can make a monetary donation. Any donations made at the link will be matched up to $25,000 by Huntington Bank for the recovery efforts. Also, we have the donation drive going on at our facility in Charleston this morning. There will be one in Morgantown on Monday, one in Clarksburg on Tuesday as well. So, Chad, anything helps at this point?
Every single thing helps, Dave. The faster we can get the money in, the quicker we can get this community back on its feet. These businesses can't reopen, even if they could. In a lot of instances, their employees can't get there to man the shops. We need to do everything we can to get them back on their feet as quickly as possible to restore some normalcy. And like I said, it's basic things. And I did want to mention just a big thank you to you guys, West Virginia Radio. You guys always take such a big leadership role in these situations to help organize things and tell stories. And help get these folks back on their feet. And that's exactly what we need to do here. Get everybody involved. And, if it's $5, that's going to go a long way. That 5 becomes 10, and, that's going to buy several cases of water for folks. And, we just ask everybody to pitch in here to try to get this, back to normal as quick as we possibly can.
Chad, about 20 seconds. We're going to follow up next week. Are you still down in Atlanta this week for Ron Clark?
We've got the crew in Atlanta right now. I'm headed to the West Virginia Bankers Association. I'm chairing that this year, so we've got that this weekend. But we have 250 teachers down in Atlanta with a big crew, and the Department of Education's down there. So very much look forward to hearing about all the wonderful things that are happening. They're literally in those sessions as we speak right now.
All right, we'll follow up next week with them. Hey, Chad, thank you. Thanks to Huntington Bank for being a great partner in this and helping folks out around West Virginia.
Dave, TJ, thank you guys. Appreciate everything you do.
Absolutely. Thank you. Chad Prather, Huntington Bank. Again, the link is at the top of the homepage at wvmetronews.com. Click the link. It'll take you to where you can make a monetary donation through the American Red Cross to help out recovery efforts across the state, and Huntington Bank will match donations up to $25,000. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Well, meteorologist Joe Hansel here. There is a slight chance of some light to moderate showers and a few general thunderstorms in the state today. Far less impactful compared to earlier this week. But again, earlier this week, we had that up to extreme rainfall event, severe thunderstorm event that led to up to locally historic river flooding that a lot of areas are going to still be recovering from, and some recovery efforts and search and rescue efforts may still be ongoing in some areas of the state. If that is the case for your day, be mindful. A lot of clouds around, partly sunny to overcast skies, and a chance of a hit or miss rain shower today, especially favoring in the afternoon hours. The main front, stationary fronts to the south over the Carolinas, areas like Charlotte watching for another risk of heavy rain, potentially in some areas of North and South Carolina today. Fly-Super forecast, it starts at home. Will be more favored for some increasing chance of rain and storms as we head into early next week with our next incoming cold front from the northwest. In northern areas, plenty of clouds, a chance of a shower and a slight chance of a thunderstorm with highs around 80, give or take today in the northern panhandle. Lows low to mid 60s tonight with a low chance of a shower. Eastern panhandle spots likely dry here. We'll call it partly sunny, warming up near 80 or so for highs in the panhandle spots, the 70s, higher elevations, lows 50s and 60s tonight. Northern areas, probably still a lot of impacts out there from that extreme weather event we had earlier this week. There is a slight chance of a general shower or storm today, hit or miss in nature for rain, but I'll keep eyes on the radar today and tonight. Southern areas, a few showers, chance of a thunderstorm. 86 Huntington, 72 in Bluefield today. Lows mainly in the 60s tonight. Sunday, a chance of showers and storms, more likely early next week as we heat up a little bit, near 90 Charleston, Monday and Tuesday.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
The 2026 West Virginia Prep Football Showcase partnered with Coalfields & Company.
The premier program across all classes in the state.
Analysis from Travis Jones and Joe Brigado. See the players and program shaping the 2026 season. Watch high school football athletes compete in the 40-yard dash, 5-10-5 shuttle, and broad jump. Streaming live July 25th on Metro News Television, YouTube, and Facebook.
(800-765-TALK), 800-765-8255, 304-TALK, 304. Quickly, before we get to steam release, TJ, got an update on estimated power restoration?
Yes, all First Energy customers affected from the flooding and the storms expected to be back on by 11 p.m. tonight, per Wilt Boyer of First Energy. He tells me many, if not most, will be on before that.
Given the magnitude and what we were dealing with a couple of days ago, that is an incredible job by those line crews.
Yeah, outstanding. Just outstanding.
All right, it is Friday. Let's get to it.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Every Friday, no matter the circumstance, we bring this as a public service to you. A chance to vent, get whatever it is that is troubling you off your chest as we head into the weekend. It's a public service, as I said, because all week long, we get to pick the topics. Sometimes the news sets the agenda. Sometimes we set the agenda. You don't get to set the agenda, except for right now. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can steam about politics, the news, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're mad because somebody didn't do the dishes last night after he promised. Either way, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That is the phone number to release your steam. You can text your steam to 304-TALK-304. Just a couple of rules we like to follow here. Number one, please don't get us fired. We would appreciate that. Or sued. They kind of go hand in hand. You can steam about the host, past, current, and future hosts, and we may not respond. If you keep it tight, you keep it quick, we'll get as many of the steams in as we possibly can. Otherwise, the rest of the show belongs to you. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You can text your steam to 304-TALK-304. We begin on the phones. George, you're up first on steam release. What do you got?
I've known a few people that have been falsely accused of not paying tolls when they traveled, thanks to that license plate reader technology. Now, thank God we don't have tolls right around here, but that is still an example of how that can be abused. So that means we should definitely not have all that in Huntington. Instead, we need to spend the money on the infrastructure, not that camera crap.
George, good steam to get us started. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Text your steam 304-TALK-304. Let's go to Bob in Charleston. Hey, Bob.
Hey, it looks like Natalie Tennant is the only person in West Virginia that doesn't want Jared Page to be a new Kanawha County commissioner.
Bob.
Arrogance like that's hard to take.
Bob, appreciate the steam. Have a great weekend. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Text your steam to 304-TALK-304. Let's get to those text steams, Mr. Meadows.
The bylaws, says the texter, set forth by King Hoppy. Quote, I can have as many cafe lattes as I want because my lawyer, Jackie Chile, said so. 304-TALK-304. Steam release. Hey there. I'm here in Mercer County sitting on 100 acres of land waiting on a data center company to offer me a deal for my land. No drama, no politics, no craziness. Just saying. Hey, it's Rod from Fairmont. I'm fed up with my veterinarian. My horse broke his leg, and my vet said the only thing I could do was shoot him. What the heck? Makes no sense to me. Now he's got a broken leg and a bullet wound. Well, if he's not better by tomorrow, I guess I'll go ahead and shoot him again. I'm more frustrated than a midget with a yo-yo, says Rod. Have you heard J.D. Vance speak? He is by far the most elegant speaking political figure since Obama. He has clarity and the ability to pick through the BS. I would hate to have to debate him, says the texter. Really like Chris a lot, but I think he's wrong on this one. I think the candidates are going to be Marco Rubio and Mark Kelly. All right. 304-TALK-304. Dave and TJ, Northern Outpost remembers the critique by Rush Limbaugh about polls prior to the last 100 days before the election. All they are is talking points for the lazy media pontificates. That's why the best of all time, Stirewalt needs to up his game. steam, says the Northern Outpost.
800-765-TALKS, the phone number. Let's go back to the phones. Dale, what's your steam this morning?
Hey, TJ, another guy. It's Dale Lee, baby. I just filled up the 87 DeVille for the bargain price of $88, averaging 7 miles per gallon up the turnpike. I got a courtesy patrol escort, and every time I roll into the toll booth, I tell the collector 2 words, TJ Meadows. Gets you through every time. Gotta run. Gotta go do another celebrity cameo to pay for the fuel to get the caddy back to Princeton.
Dale, appreciate the call. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. Text your steam to 304-TALK-304. CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door. Now is the perfect time to connect. Free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local customer support you can trust. Perfect for working from home, streaming, gaming, or running your business. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects. Strong starts. Let's keep it going. Steam release continues on Talkline. Back in a moment.
I'm Rachel Fetty Anderson, candidate for U.S. Senate. West Virginians are celebrating 250 years of freedom from a tyrannical government that seized land, taxed without representation, and forced the colonies to pay the cost for foreign wars. Today, our government is giving our land to corporations, silencing local governments, and defunding the infrastructure services our children need to thrive. We can stop them. Vote for a candidate who wants to represent us and stands for us, because my family lives here too. I'm Rachel Fetty Anderson, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Elect Fetty Anderson. Senate campaign.
The WVU Cancer Institute is transforming cancer care in West Virginia and beyond. The state's top doctors deliver compassionate care and treatment using leading-edge technology and innovative research for patients facing colorectal cancer. From screening and early detection to advanced treatment and survivorship support, we're here for you every step of the way. Call 855-WVU-CARE.
West Virginia's grid is old, overloaded, and falling behind. That means fewer jobs, less investment, and a future we can't afford to risk. Marl is the fix. A modern transmission line that strengthens reliability, attracts manufacturing, and puts West Virginians to work. Investment here, jobs here, a more reliable, stronger grid right here. Learn more at powerwvnow.org. Paid for by West Virginians for reliable and affordable energy.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then before I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better. And I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. Just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Steam release rolls on. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. You should have it programmed into your phone. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line to release your steam as we head into the weekend. Let's go back to the phones, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Let's go to Joan. Hey, Joan.
Yes, I just wanted to mention, if people are really interested in our state, they could read two articles that have been in the paper recently. One is investing in the future of southern West Virginia. And if you'd read one or two sentences there, it's talking about a grandmother who does not know if she'll have enough water to last the week. She does not know how her grandchild will take a bath or whether he can wear clean clothes. This is sad that our legislature and governor is not putting the right money into the right places. And then there's another one from the HD Media editorial, A Kick in the Teeth on Data Centers. When I read what's one of the data centers in Putnam County, the things that it's going to do to streams and wetlands and endangered species, that's sad. I don't know what's going on with our Department of Environmental Protection and so forth. But anyway, people need to be studying this type of thing. The last comment I have is sometimes I wonder why TJ doesn't run for the House of Delegates. That's all. Thank you.
Joan, thank you for the steam. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255, 304-TALK, 304. Greg and Ona. Hey, Greg.
Hey, I just wanted to call and thank our president, great President Trump, for cutting my electric bill in half. Everything he says he's going to do and getting us into no foreign wars and cutting my food prices and eliminating the debt in 8 years. He talked about that a lot in his first term. And the $19 trillion in investments. And what's that, honey? Honey, excuse me. Honey, you mean he didn't? Oh, hey, Dave? Dave? Never mind.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. Good steam. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Text the show, 304-TALK, 304. More text teams.
Steam release, fire Congress, all of them, not doing their job to provide checks and balances. Northern Eagle Distributing of Elkins and Beverage Distributing of Clarksburg have arranged to have a truckload of water delivered to the Buchanan and Weston Relief Centers, FYI. Thank you for that. Morrissey had $2 million to rent a Ferris wheel, but the West Virginia Emergency Management Agency must resort to asking for private donations of brooms and cleaning supplies. Where's George calling from? Mars? The Liam commercials are starting to get annoying. My son has been in Saudi Arabia for 15 months, now 6 more. He's been extended twice. Time to swap out triple nickel. Proud Air Force dad. I'm steamed at North. No, I'm not. You can read that if you want. I'm not doing that. I'll leave that to your discretion, sir. Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, now AOC. We've officially reached idiocracy. No one can lead us out of this but a libertarian, Thomas Massey, for president, or we go off the cliff. That's innuendo, suggesting something, not going there. I'm starting to drive my family crazy. All I do is complain about people driving like idiots in the work zones between Fairmont and Morgantown. I've become like my parents in my 60s and would make a perfect Progressive insurance commercial, but I don't care. Work zone safety has become my obsession and my mission in life. By the way, one of the insane drivers looked a lot like Ethan, says the texter.
800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Let's go to Wheeling. Steve, what's your steam?
Hey, guys. The guys filling in for Howard Monroe, Bob Slider and Shane Stack up in Wheeling on the Watchdog. Yesterday, Shane Stack was sworn into the West Virginia House of Delegates. I really wanted to say congratulations and say what a fine human being Shane Stack and great delegate he will be.
Steve, appreciate it. Have a great weekend. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. That's the phone number. You can text your steam to 304-TALK-304. The WVU Medicine Outpatient Rehabilitation Center at University Town Center offers state-of-the-art physical, occupational, and speech therapy services. We provide focused outpatient care for illness, injury, or disability to improve your quality of life and your independence. Trust the experts at WVU Medicine to handle your outpatient rehab treatment. Visit wvumedicine.org/outpatient rehab or simply call 855-WVU-CARE. Let's finish strong as we head into the weekend. Last call for phone calls, last call for text. Steam release. We'll finish it up next. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Powerball jackpot $600 million. Mega Millions jackpot $743 million. So go ahead, play today. Text your steams to 304-TALK 304 800-765-TALK 800-765-8255. Last call for phone calls. Last call for text. Let's go to the phones. Donnie, what is your steam, Donnie?
Oh, I just have a message for TJ. I want him to get in his golf cart and put his visor on, start blasting some Britney Spears and putting up those House of Delegates signs in every turn that he comes to.
Donnie, appreciate the phone call. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Text your steam, 304-TALK 304. Let's get some more text steams.
Dave, let's treat this as a positive text steam. This message in from Walmart Corporate Communications. The Walmart Supercenter there in Buchanan. Mobile showers and laundry services are now available in the parking lot at that Walmart Supercenter in Buchanan. Their disaster relief teams on site serving meals and bottled water alongside Operation Barbecue. They've got services being provided from Matthew 25 Ministries, Tide, Loads of Hope, Walmart, Procter & Gamble. The store is open. Now, online pickup and delivery in the auto center are unavailable, but the pharmacy and the vision center remain open and available to customers. So there you go. If you're in need of those services at that flooded Walmart there in Buchanan, we know that those are there. So that's available at the Walmart in Buchanan, number 2809, if you need it. 304-TALK 304. Dave and TJ, nothing Seinfeld, no steam. Great job this week on the coverage of the flood. Also, congratulations to the first responders and the DOH for such a quick response and recovery efforts. When you see how people come together like this, how we look out for each other through country roads, and though it was embraced worldwide over this past summer, those people will never understand how with days like this, how much deeper and meaningful and impactful that West Virginia anthem has become on her residents. I'm a lifelong Republican, but if the choice is between AOC or the billionaire bailouts by J.D. Vance, I'm voting for AOC. She actually knows how to work for a living. Regardless of what polls say, no one takes AOC seriously outside of New York or the socialists. Guys, I believe, like it's been said, there is not a culvert that would handle all that rainwater. This should be a wake-up that culverts need cleaned and some need upgraded to larger sizes because of development in areas. I've been putting in SWAT requests for 3 years to get a culvert outside of my property in Harrison County, says the texter. Just wanted to thank everybody who is helping flood victims. Please keep those in your thoughts and prayers. If you're unable to donate, do a random act of kindness today for your fellow West Virginians. My steam is the lack of coverage of the operation to incite resistance to data centers that is funded by China. It's not getting any coverage. AI is going to advance no matter what in the question of who. Sorry, that one's just torn all to pieces with Siri. So sorry, can't do it. I wanted to text in to recognize Hunter Williams and Leon Depp. They both live in Buchanan. During the flooding this week, they took action, hopped in their kayaks, and helped 11 people find safety. I'm sure there are other stories like theirs, but I wanted to mention them. This type of selflessness in our communities is much needed. Flying my flag at half-mast to the death of democracy. Next stop, liberty. Guys, I sent this in at the beginning of the show. Here's my steam. The only thing worse than starting this war with Iran is continuing it. President Trump keeps saying we've won the war with Iran by a lot. So why are we still in a war with Iran?
Let's go back to the phones. Rob, what's your steam, Rob?
Hey, good afternoon. Is Trump lost his mind? He wants to give Saudi Arabia the right to develop nuclear weapons. Hey, does he not remember 9/11? All those pilots were from Saudi Arabia. If he gives them the right, then every other country in the Middle East is going to arm themselves, and you're going to have this. It's just going to be awful. Every country has nuclear weapons in the Middle East. Can you imagine that? Thank you.
Rob, you are welcome. Have a great weekend, Rob. 304-TALK 304. Still time to get a couple of your text steams in. Also, want to remind you, over at the website, wvmetronews.com, right at the top of the homepage, you can click the link to Make a monetary donation to flood relief efforts. WVRC Media, our parent company, teaming up with Titan Roofing, Red Cross, and Huntington Bank to help impacted communities across the state. We've got a donation drive going on today at our flagship affiliate, WCHS 580 WCHS down in Charleston. That continues until, what, TJ, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock tonight?
I believe 6 o'clock is correct.
Okay, you can drop stuff off. You don't even have to get them out of your car. Dave Allen will personally get items out of your vehicle for you. I can't actually vouch for that, but somebody will. There at the drop-off, we've got a donation drive on Monday in Morgantown at the Suncrest Town Center. There will be a donation drive on Tuesday in Clarksburg to aid flood relief efforts. If you click the link on the webpage to make a monetary donation, our friends at Huntington Bank have graciously offered to match any donations made at the link up to $25,000 for disaster relief across the state this week. A couple of more text themes here to close out the day. Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. He stopped the war in Iran at least 15 times, says the texter. I'm steamed at Northern Dave for never answering whether he liked his women like he likes his hot dog chili. Thick. Talk to you on Monday. This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.